Hey guys, let's play Beyond the Edge of Owlsgard. This is a point-and-click adventure game that came out in 2022, done in a retro style. Yeah, let's check it out here. I always love these retro-styled point-and-clicks. Classic mode. Alright, let's go with that. Classic mode means more like the old-school retro point-and-click adventure games, which means it's probably going to be a bit tougher, you know. Long time ago in a faraway galaxy. No, faraway world. Okay, small kingdom of Vela Hill. Okay. Beyond the edge of Owlsgard. Do. Cool opening, bro. Okay, so let's see. Chapter 1, a dark secret. Let's start out here. Okay. First of all, I play as this guy with a deer head. Is that right? Am I a deer or am I just a guy wearing a deer mask? I don't know. But anyways, I play as either... Whoops, what is this stupid armory thing? I play this as either as an anthropomorphic deer or as a guy wearing a deer mask. One of those things. I don't know. Very inspired by LucasArts games, I can tell. I mean, just the interface of here looks exactly like what you would find in Indiana Jones' Fate of Atlantis. So I think they took it from that, which is a great point-and-click adventure game, so I understand why they copied LucasArts there. Being kind of a animal character, it reminds me of Inherit the Earth. That's another point-and-click adventure game. That's not LucasArts, that's New World Computing, but you do get to place animals in that one, as anthropomorphic animals, I should say. But again, I'm still not sure if I am an animal or if I'm just a guy wearing a deer mask. Because look, you can kind of see like my little jaw here. That's still kind of humanish. So I wonder if I'm just wearing a deer mask. Anyways, let's see here. Look at, what's this, fish?
I still remember these strange fish too well. Peaceful, but known for their enormous jaw strength. Every razor blade is a joke compared to those teeth.
Octu?
Hey, little buddy. Aw, come on. No need to be rude.
Entrance. Let's open that door.
The dreaded forest of the wolves. The part of this forest where the entire wolf population has been brought... strange. The door's been unlocked.
Okay, what's in here? Oh, time to save the game, it says.
The cold, impassable rocks surround the entire wolf territory.
Let's save the game then. Okay, probably something here.
Huh?
Oh shit. It's never a good idea to blindly walk into the wall. Now I understand why they told you to save the game, because something bad was going to happen quickly. Okay, well, that was a very quick death. That's very Sierra-like, you know, a lot of Sierra point-and-click adventure games back in the day. You just die so quickly and without warning, so yeah, you gotta save often.
The trees don't look too friendly in this part of the...
Yeah, so I guess if I just continue walking, then I just, yeah, the wolves just kill me, I think. Okay, better not go there then. Old Willow.
It definitely hasn't gotten any smaller over the last few years. There seems to be a small hole between the root.
A small hole, huh? Where? You have to be pixel perfect with these things. They're opening. Wait, what the? Look at opening?
Under the tree is a kind of cavity, which narrows towards the other...
Okay. Is there any way we could go there?
I can't open... I don't need to climb up there. The blind worms like...
What about the opening? I have gold coins, silver coins, and a notebook. Okay. Where I came from. Hut.
To go inside would be life-threatening.
Really?
To go...
Why? Life-threatening to go back into the hut? Okay. Well, it's footprints.
Something must have happened here. The soil is still fresh.
You don't say. Okay. Okay, path out of the forest then.
footprints disappear from here.
Town. Uh-huh. Look at all
I
these
haven't
animals.
wandered through those.
So it is a game where you play
Why is
as,
there a
I
crowd
guess these are all
gathering?
anthropomorphic animals then.
Behold,
Playing
the
a
king's ambassadors
world
near.
where, yeah, animals are all talking.
Dear townsfolk, I, as the ambassador of our king, bring you good news in these dark days. A terrible incident that we have been trying to prevent since the establishment of the Wolf District. But this wave of destruction and kidnapping of helpless fellow animals will come to an end. The king has come up with a plan to make the Wolf District escape-proof in the future. Tomorrow, he will arrive here and let this plan be put into action.
Finally, this nightmare has come to an end.
This was the good news I was told. I will now rest at the inn and then visit the neighboring towns.
Hooray for the king!
The wolves are responsible for this? Good day.
Greetings! What you see in front of you is my small but fine
Merchandise.
general merchandise stand.
Merchandise.
What do you have to offer?
I nip look and here we. Wait, what do I actually have here? A half-finished mended sock, an old toothbrush, a green heap with various mushroom crops on it. Ugh, this was the chocolate croissant from the previous year. Here we have something. These unspeakably fashionable knitted scarves. And of course, the
Okay.
one thing that everyone has a burning desire for. Torches. I came up with that joke myself.
Ugh, I expected a bit more.
At least I offer quality. When will you find scarves as warm as these?
It's high summer.
Okay, the torch
That torch
seems
seems-
useful.
I knew just by looking at you that you would choose this high-quality torch. Only 2 silver coins.
Great, I've got that much.
It is something to light the fire is included.
Good, I might need torches for something. Maybe that's just from me playing a lot of RPG games.
I like the scarf.
To barely escape heat stroke at 1,000 degrees is my passion.
I knew it. Only 5 gold.
I'm afraid I don't have that much.
Too
5
bad.
gold coins. Aw.
Are you just taking your trash outside, or are you really selling this?
Don't say anything against my trash. Sometimes it sells like hotcakes with the rats.
Can you tell me what's going?
That's not hard to see, is it? The wolves are on the loose. Total state of emergency.
Do you think that the wolves are behind all this?
Well, I have to say that I don't really know much about the wolves, but they are pretty bad guys with bad manners and certainly get angry easily. I think I'd like them a little better if they'd buy a few stress balls from me now and then instead of wreaking such a havoc here.
My family has also been a victim of these attacks.
What? For Hippo's sake, how terrible! Can you be helped in any way? Are you injured?
No, I was too late and only saw what was left of our home.
Oh, maybe you need an extra cuddly soft handkerchief. By the way, 2 packs are now available for the price of 1.
Thank you. I'll pass.
As soon as the king arrives here with his troops, these wolves will
Never
be brought to
misses an
justice.
opportunity to
I'm
make
sure
money.
that your family will then return safely.
I wonder if the king is really going to get a handle on things here.
Sure, let them go ahead and heighten the walls around the wolves' air. On the other hand, the situation is actually not so bad for myself. The more animals remain in the city, the more interested eyes glance over my my...
Finger.
Sub.
Subject
Cheer
tree.
up, buddy.
No, that's a ferret? I had no idea that was a ferret. Looked more like a cat to me. This is definitely a dog.
Morning.
Dogomir.
I wish you an absolutely tremendous morning, my friend from the forest.
Well, it could be better.
Okay.
What can I buy?
For just 1 gold coin, I can pick up. Bring me something whose smell. I'll pick up the scent and find whatever it.
Oh, okay.
Ah, useful. I'll come back when I have. Strange things are going on here.
All right, you can feel on your whole body just how tense the mood here is, right? Even my fleas are hopping around much more nervously than usual. Ouch! That was Olga. That old cow is the worst of the bunch right now.
He named his fleas.
What do you...
Our king is a good man who has always impressed me. I'm sure he will somehow, after all, his father, great-grandfather, and great-great-grandfather managed to do this as well.
Do you think that the wolves are behind...
I must admit that I've met a wolf only twice, and consequently, I can only comment on them to a limited extent from my own experience. But I think that the old stories about their cruelty already speak for themselves. However, their approach is really peculiar. Yesterday, when I went into the woods to my old favorite pasture to do some, business, I found there, to my horror, only a broken tree stump. I could only express my deep sorrow for this with the loudest, most heart-wrenching yelp that I ever made in my dog's life. How could the wolves do such a thing? And above all, what do they want to achieve with it?
Have you seen two... My parents disappeared without a trace.
That's... Unfortunately, I have seen nothing, but I will keep my eyes, ears, and especially my nostrils open.
Let's... Smell...
I have an open nostril for you at all times, but better stay in town. You never know.
Okay.
You must have seen many...
Huh. Drink some water. Let's see, go to pub. Oh, everyone's dancing around. What the heck? It's a hoedown right here. It's a hoedown.
Hello there!
Greetings, my friend.
The music's alright, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite nice. But it's also kind of mainstream. The songs are... But the chord progressions are a bit predictable and quite overused nowadays. They only use power chords in every song. I like it a bit more alternative.
Tell me more.
I know a hedgehog band that is totally my jam!
Oh, hedgehogs. I heard that the noise of their spikes scratching on their instruments is almost unbearable live.
Yes, but they do that on purpose, and it's called a
stylistic element.
stylistic element. Sometimes the scratching gets so loud that you can't even hear the rest of the instrument. And often, the amount of scratching even reaches more than 200 scratches per minute.
I think I heard something about that one. My great-grandfather couldn't stand that style of music at all. He liked more melodic choruses with punchy deer roar.
I believe you. Older folks can't stand music like this, but every genre has to evolve at some point, doesn't it? Where would we be if we only rehashed the old stuff?
Well, I'm more of a nostalgic person. I don't mind that so.
Oh, and by the way,
That's true.
let
I
me
like
tell you
old
about
music better
this.
too.
Groups of howler monkeys
classic.
and pistol shrimps are currently forming new bands a few towns from here, and
Pistol
it sounds
shrimps.
so rad. The hottest
it's gonna be pretty
dung
loud.
ever.
Rad. I'll remember that. I had a band once too. Me on the lute, a peacock on the vocals, and a giant hamster on the drum. But soon that hamster had crammed so much junk into the rehearsal room that we had no space left to practice. Occasionally, even pieces of our equipment had disappeared into his cheek. One day, it was clear to us. We had to kick him out.
That sucks.
To move. What do you think of the wolf?
What? Wolves? Where?
Easy. I just want...
Please, don't scare me like that.
I can tell you don't seem to trust...
It took me 2 days to gather the courage to go outside again. Like any smart hedgehog, I had holed up in my house and lain in the corner of my room, curled up into a spiky ball. After all, the wolves could be anywhere.
Oh, come on.
Also, this morning, I heard something scratch at my window. I immediately knew that this could only be the terrible claws of a wolf.
Oh, no.
It was just a branch, but my hedgehog sense tells me that next time, it may be a wolf. It wouldn't surprise me if those guys are walking around the house to seek out their next meal among us. As soon as the concert is over, I will immediately hole up in my house again. It's way too dangerous out here.
Okay.
You seem awfully scared.
Of course! Hasn't anyone ever told you those old terrible stories about what those guys do to their victims? How they show no mercy once they get you? How their teeth shatter every bone of their victim into millions of bloody pieces just by touching them? How they grab your neck and wring it as if it's an old washcloth?
Apparently not the R-rated version.
Those are
So
much...
graphic.
Do you think that...
What do you mean by that? What other animal could create such havoc?
That's a very, very good question.
Okay, listen. I appreciate someone like you who thinks ahead and looks for other causes. But listen to me. My great-great-grandmother taught me when there is destruction and death, only the wolves can be behind it. And in that case, we have no choice but to act immediately.
Enough. Will the king make it all?
You bet. I have complete confidence in him. If he deals with the wolves just as thoughtfully as his father did, everything will soon be back on. The bards will surely dedicate many songs to our king after, but hopefully not mainstreamy stuff like that. There should be more semitone scale.
Have you seen a deer?
I'm sorry, dude, but I haven't. It was those darn wolves again, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
It seems like more animals are disappearing by the hour. We can only hope things will be resolved when the king Stay vigilant.
Everyone's dancing around. Talk to the cat.
So, does the mead taste good?
It at least makes everything a bit more bearable.
Oh, you seem quite exuberant.
Let's just say I'm slowly coming to terms with the current situation. And by the way, this isn't my first mead either.
Thanks, but I need a clear head right now. The music is quite nice.
I'm really glad that, despite everything, a certain normality is still being retained here. And to be honest, I'm only here to throw my legs back and forth. You know, to shake off all the overwhelming anxiety. But I'm already dreading the moment when the music is over and the worrying starts again.
Can you tell me what's going
I wish I could. At the moment, I feel reminded of those long-gone times that my great-great-grandfather used to tell me about. Those dangerous times when the wolves still lived and hunted freely among us. It was a real blessing for us that the wolves were eventually driven back into their closed-off territory.
Do you think the king can handle this?
Oh, you know, I can't really form an opinion on that. Regarding the tension with the wolves, the royal family has only been doing... damage control. Sometimes I wonder if diplomatic negotiations with the wolves might be possible. But the wolves seem to be nasty, unpredictable guy, and that's why such a proposal would certainly cause an outcry among many animals.
Yeah, especially that hedgehog over there.
So you don't seem to be too fond of the wolves.
When I was little, I was downright obsessed with the culture and lifestyle of the wolf. I pestered my great-grandfather with countless questions. One thing he told me is that any form of art is completely unknown to wolves. Not a single pencil or brush could ever be held by one of their massive paws, solely because they are only shaped for grabbing and crushing our necks.
Sounds unpleasant.
The only thing they'd ever call art are the deep red blood puddle.
That must have spoiled your curiosity.
Pretty much. Actually, I'd like to visit the wolves area one day and be convinced of the opposite, but surely there's a reason why these old stories exist.
My family is missing.
Oh no, how awful!
They came from my parents' house.
At the moment, no one is really safe anymore.
Did you happen to see two deer? About my size, a little older.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but no. But I'll keep all of my paws crossed that nothing bad has happened to them. It's best to stay in town until things get back to normal.
Okay, what about this, stork or something here? Ambassador.
Hey, can I interrupt you?
He's drinking mead too.
Go ahead, go ahead.
How was work?
I'll tell you, it's extremely occupying. Leisure time is increasingly becoming a foreign word to me, but it fills me with the deepest pride to be the most important stork. What sound, other than the one of my voice, would be better suited to instantly reach the ears of every animal?
Tinnitus?
Ha ha! I'm about to choke on my mead.
How will the king proceed?
Oh, our great king has come up with a whole lot of great things. I was informed that the rock walls around the wolves area will be raised by several meters to be. These walls will be guarded around the clock by a specially trained fighting force.
Merciless gray squirrels.
Traps will be set and watchtowers will be. In
Squirrels really the best animals to
entrance
guard
to that
wolves?
area will be secured by 50 separate locking mechanisms.
That's a great plan. This is gonna work.
Your trust in the king delights me.
What kind of traps are we talking?
Currently, hundreds of singing bard parrots are being trained to reach certain pitches that are absolutely unbearable for wolf ear. These parrots will then be placed at strategically selected points in the forest, where they will sing like there's no tomorrow. If this tactic doesn't work, we'll resort to harsher measure.
Wait a minute.
Yes, I do! The most beautiful poker hits from all...
But this method was only used for war purposes.
Indeed, but great dangers require drastic measures.
Change this.
Hits.
Why would the wolves attack?
I beg your pardon? What a question! They are wolves, after all.
But there have been no attacks for a long time.
Those ruffians are simply unpredictable.
I don't know if this is the right approach. Did you see a deer fan?
I am so sorry, but
Didn't you perhaps notice something after all?
as you may have been able to tell, my head is almost bursting with instructions from the king. Thus, I am simply not able to help you look for your... Phew! As you can see, it is downright exhausting to be as important as me.
I gotta
Trust in the king.
Interesting. What about these guys? Musicians.
Woohoo! Yeah! Awesome! I hope that's how you do it nowadays.
Okay, well, let's talk to everyone. That was the pub. Is that the only place I can go down there? Is the pub? Okay. Birdhouse.
What a turmoil up. Hello? What's new up there?
Talk to some of the
Hello?
birds. No, they don't want to talk. Birds don't want to talk. Is there anything else I can pick up? Mug?
Oi, that meat is mine.
Oh, sorry, Master. Actually, I don't need your meat.
Open the cabinet?
I guess this is where they keep costumes for all the festiv.
Oh, okay. What is this? Costume. Can I use it?
Let's see if it fits.
Whoa, I'm an
A
apple.
bit too big and not really my taste either. All that aside, it doesn't do me any good here.
So I took an apple costume. Doesn't do anything though. Coast. What's in the coast? Grotto. What the heck? A raccoon.
Greetings.
Shush! I am a rock.
A rock? You don't look like that.
No, you don't understand. That's my strategy.
Huh?
I've been trying to get my hands on one of these glowing bugs for 3 days now. But these little animals are so terribly shy. If I stay here long enough and don't move, they might think that I am a rock. As soon as one of the bugs crawls on me, I strike.
Oh, great. Did it work already?
Unfortunately not. But my time will. Maybe even tomorrow. Or the day after tomorrow. Or the day after.
You'll achieve great things one day, my friend. Well, has anything happened yet?
I think this one bug has already moved an inch in my direction. Oh, soon the time will come.
Can you tell me what's going on?
The animals in the town are making a huge fuss. Everyone is running around all panicky because of some weird mass hysteria. The wolves are on the move again, they say. The evil wolves destroy our trees and houses, they say. But I say, calm down, everybody. Oh, my goodness.
Do you know anything about the wolf?
In Hippo's name. Come on. Wolves here, wolves there, wolves everywhere. I just can't take hearing this any longer. Not even a single hen I know is chickening up as much as the townsfolk. To be honest, I've never even seen one. And that's a good thing. Ever thought that maybe the king himself is behind all these incidents?
I actually got killed by a wolf earlier though when I went the wrong direction.
Is this going to be an excursion into creepy conspiracy?
There are so many things that we do not know. Educate yourself a bit. Those in power would have enough reasons to make us more docile with an artificial net. And how do I know the king isn't perhaps a world-destroying, floating tuna cream monster? After all, I myself have not yet seen it.
Come on.
Well, admittedly, some theories I heard really do sound a bit nonsensical. Secret sparrow organizations in hidden forest areas collect information about all of bards, send subliminal messages when you let them sing their lyrics back. And I once heard that our world is supposed to be round. Just imagine this nonsense.
Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that still believe in a flat Earth. Just go on social media, you'll see a ton of people believing in flat Earth, which is so stupid. We're going back into the Renaissance, medieval era. Even freaking Renaissance people didn't believe flat Earth back then. Jesus, we figured that out in medieval times.
This is not my...
Here it's 2025. We can fly planes and jets and rocket ships, and we still believe there's still people that believe the Earth is flat. Absolutely ridiculous.
Did 2 deer pass by here by chance?
I have seen nothing.
My parents
They all think it's a
disappeared
NASA
recently.
conspiracy, even though
Something bad
NASA
has
didn't
happened.
exist
Oh,
100 years ago.
I'll keep my eyes open for you, all right?
Hundreds of years ago, people already figured out that the Earth wasn't flat, and people these days thinks it's some NASA conspiracy. So stupid.
Wouldn't you...
Why should I?
Just proves that
I would be
humans are getting
exactly
more and
what those who
more
are
and more
behind all
uneducated
this
and less
want.
intelligent as the time goes on.
Let's talk about other things. Can I have your jar?
I'm sorry, but that jar is extremely important to me.
Okay.
I'm le-
All right, but be a little quiet.
Okay, clutter. Let's see. Look at. Pick up.
The owner of this junk can clean it up himself for all I care.
Glowing beetles.
What strange little creatures. These beetles make every firefly green with envy. Hey, what are you look?
Pick up.
They escape again and again. Surely these bugs don't like it when you get too close to them.
Right. Torch or costume. Hey, maybe I can give the costume to him.
Can't you see I'm busy? We can do spontaneous carnival parades later, if you like.
Back in the day, I often went into the water here. There's no time for that now.
Okay. Over here. Oh, a seal.
Hello.
What's that? No, get off my ship, boy.
It's a ship?
And please, take your weird twin over there.
Twin.
I'm Finn. You're the ferryman here.
That's right. I am Bolek. Bolek, the ferryman. A seal of action and adventure at sea.
Oh, that's great. How much is a rock?
Oh, slow down, kid. Let me think. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My ferry service is closed for an indefinite amount of time. The sea is too unpredictable at the moment, even for a more than competent sea dog like me.
But neither you nor your boat looks like that.
What do you mean?
Your boat's all messed up and stuck in the sand. Probably as deep as you looked into your meat glass.
You're right. But trust me, I know the surrounding seas as thoroughly as my midriff bulge. However, at the moment, things are looking pretty bleak. What else can I do but get drunk like there's no tomorrow?
Let's talk about something else. Huh? What shit?
You're cracking me up. Can't you smell the salty air of the high seas as it passes through the wall?
You're in your hut!
What? How? Wait, you're right. Oh, this mischievous old sea always manages to trick me. But then, this terrible swaying must be caused by something else. It must be the mattress. Oh, if I get my fins on the rascal who sold me this cursed
What are you talking?
Can't you see how mercilessly it spins and rocks this poor old sailor around? Oh no, here we go again.
What's the sea like out there?
Let me tell you something, my boy. No one sees the seas like I do.
I'll take your word for that.
And I can tell you that from here, the sea actually seems very calm right now. Perfect conditions to transport a few paying travelers from one nearby island to another. Currently, however,
There are other problems keeping customers away from me.
Oh? What happened?
At the moment, rumors of mysterious sightings are going around. Not only on dry land, where you landlubbers are, but also at sea. An old drinking friend of mine recently disappeared without a trace.
Really? That's terrible.
His boat must have been adrift without him for a while before it was finally found on a nearby shore. People also reported seeing strange shadows here and there under the surface of the... I'll tell you what, my boy. Those are definitely not schools of herring.
Oh no, this sounds similar to what must have happened to my parents. When I was at their house this morning, they seem to have dropped off the face of the earth as well. The house still resembles a field of rubble. We have to stick together. Something terrible is going on here right now. Has there been any sign of life from your buddy? Maybe there is hope for all those who have disappeared. Hello?
Herrings. Wait, where was I? I'm telling you, I'd like to get to the bottom of this. As soon as I have a repaired boat, or better yet, repair tools, or money with which I could buy such tools, or customers which would get me some money in the first place. It's driving me up the wall, darn it.
Do you have any guesses as to what the threat is?
Many animals suspect the wolves, but I think the shadows under the water's surface say otherwise, unless the wolves have recently acquired submarine.
Enough of this. You must have some great sea dog stories.
Sure. Let me tell you the story that makes even the most hardened sailors
Great!
About 30 years ago, I signed up for a journey on board the SS Rubber Duck. We were a small crew in search of an ancient treasure chest hidden somewhere in an unmapped area. One day, we came across an island in said area, thinking that nothing could go wrong. However, since the day we started planning the journey, sailors began warning us about the ominous bleating that is said to be heard there occasionally. We also heard it when we went ashore. But we ignored it. And after a few hours, we found said treasure chest. When we returned to our ship, we suddenly recognized thousands of giant sheep with soaked to the sea level was at least 5 meters lower than usual, and the keel of the ship was on dry land. There was no doubt that these sheep were the legendary
Sponge
sheep.
Seriously?
Until then, we thought it was just a fairy tale told by sailors during long nights in the tavern. But here, they turned out to be a horrifying reality. These cursed sheep.
What unbelievable...
Quiet. Those beasts threatened to send their biggest sheep with the thickest and most plentiful wool into the water as well. To prevent an ecological disaster, we obeyed their order. To this day, every one of my crewmates is haunted by terrible nightmares in which the sponge sheep return and simply...
Nice story, but you need to work on the plot structure and character development. I gotta go.
Stay safe. Stormy time.
Only sailor's junk.
Pictures.
What a beautiful picture! A lush meadow lying in the shadow of gigantic gray mountain. Wait a minute, these aren't mountains. This is Bolek's family portrait.
Oven.
Besides ashes, I won't find anything in there.
Let's see, forest, town, where else can I go? I think I'll die again if I go over here, right? What if I use the costume, I wonder? If I use the costume.
Let's see if it fits. a bit too big, and all that aside.
Oh man. I'll probably just die if I go here, right?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, can we talk about this?
Alright, anyways, that's Beyond the Edge of Owlsgard. It's a pretty nice, charming point-and-click adventure, a throwback to the old school point-and-click adventures. Especially, I would say that it reminds me a lot of Inherit the Earth, probably